remakes, remasters, and re-releases. The three big R's. All of these, especially remakes, I feel like have changed the gaming industry as a whole. Replaying classic games with a beautiful makeover, or finally being able to play Mario Goddamn Sunshine again. Even though some stuff about it when it came out was a bit stinky, got me thinking about the Smash Ultimate days when I played Sunshine.
I'm dead.
Scott the Woz actually did a video about this, but that was a while ago, and I just wanted to try to throw my 2 cents in the hat as well. And I doubt he's gonna give a shit if I talk about the same topic. But the difference between all of them, remastered games is more of an updated version of the older game with graphical and visual improvements and performance enhancements, not too big of changes. An example that I'd say is like the Arkham Batman games on the newer consoles. They have some bug fixes and small graphical enhancements. Arkham Batman has been through a lot, especially lately.
Are we done with your bad stand-up routine?
The main difference between a remake and a remaster is that the remastered game doesn't fundamentally alter the game's core mechanics, story, or maybe sometimes they add small content, like for example Mario 3D World, it added Bowser's Fury, and the most normal and easy to explain one is the re-release, which is just the same game released on different consoles. Nintendo loves doing this with old NES and SNES games especially. I just want to talk about some of these remakes, re-releases, and remastered games, and how they can be a good thing, but also sometimes be a bruh thing. First, we can start with the easiest to talk about, which is the re-releases. I feel like re-releases are probably the hardest out of the big three to mess up. All it is just putting the old game into the new console. Most re-releases do what they set out to do, which is fine, because that's their job, just to make a more accessible way to play certain old games. Good re-releases are things like the Metal Gear games are fine, Resident Evil games, not the remakes, a lot of classic NES and SNES games, but also a lot of games that nobody could live without, because clearly we needed another re-release of fucking, I don't know, tennis. Some re-releases are kind of bruh, like Mario 3D All-Stars and its goofy time limit. But for the most part, re-releases are fine, they do their job. Remasters are also pretty simple, but you can get them confused for re-releases sometimes. I'm sure I fucked up in the video somewhere with a couple of games, but remasters are usually kind of fine. I'd say a solid 70% of the time they're fine. But then there's games like Sonic Colors, which, I thought the Arkham games are fine though. They gave us the ability to play the games on new consoles. The God of War games were cool. The Last of Us Remastered did its job fine as well. Remasters are the games in the thin line between it, so it's a bit hard to tell with these ones. Definitely the black sheep of all of these. But most of the time I do think remasters are fine too, a good 70% of the time. Remakes are probably the easiest to tell, but I'd say they're the most controversial out of all of them. They're basically new games. Some people don't like remakes because it tarnishes the original by making unnecessary or dumb changes to the game. Some examples of remakes are games like Dead Space, Final Fantasy VII, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, that one's questionable. I'd have to wait till that one comes out. Or the Resident Evil games, Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, Mafia Definitive Edition, in my opinion a very underrated game. I would personally say Ocarina of Time 3D, Metal Gear Twin Snakes, Mario 64 DS. Some people have problems with some of these games, like Mario 64 DS, because of the controls, which is also a problem for the re-releases as well, since it's on different consoles, different controllers, different formats of buttons. And yes, for Mario 64 DS, it is on a D-pad in a 3D game, which did defeat a big part of the purpose of it. It's a 3D game, you want to be able to move in all the different directions with analog. The DS didn't have a freaking analog. It had a D-pad with like 8 directions, not all of the directions, so you can't be precise and accurate with your movements. And no, before you go in the comments and go crazy and say, well, the 3DS has the circle pad. No, that does not solve the problem, because it's not a 3DS game. It's not how it works. When you move the circle pad on the 3DS, it's still going to be programmed to act how the DS acts, because it's not a 3DS game, it's a DS game. My bad, had to pull out the nerd emoji right there. But some people love some of these remakes because they build upon the original, or some people like the way they take it in another direction while keeping it similar, while it's still feeling like the same game but being kind of different. Some people don't like that, and they feel it's unnecessary to fix something that isn't broken. While I do see both sides of remakes, I think both sides are valid in their own ways, but personally, to me, I don't mind the remakes that much. I think they're fine. I think it does give... A lot of people didn't play the original Final Fantasy VII. When the remake came out, I saw a bunch of people playing it. I think it's good that it introduces the game to more fans, because the most important thing about it, I'd say, is if you get it out to more people are going to enjoy this content. I don't think it's a bad thing. Yes, you should still respect the original, because it's the original. In some ways the original can be better than a remake, and I'm not saying a remake isn't. It's just, oh, this is better, you should play the remake, forget about the original. I'm saying you should respect both games, play both of them if you want, but I do think the remakes are doing more good than bad, to me, at least. While the 3 big R's are changing the gaming industry, and they have been doing it for decades now, since these 3 genres have been around for a very, very long time, I think both sides are fair takes, but appreciating both sides, and at the very least respecting other people's opinions, is very important too. I don't mean to go on this whole Jonathan Joestar, Superman Clark Kent, I'm Peter Parker, you need to respect people's opinions kind of rant, but they're goddamn video games. We're playing these video games to have fun. Sometimes they immerse us more than other pieces of media, but that doesn't mean you should just hate on other things just for the sake of hating on it because it's not original or it ruins the original. You can hate on it, sure, but don't bash someone else for liking something. That's just goofy. Buy what you want, man. They're goddamn video games. You play them to enjoy them. It's not a competition. They're video games. Enjoy what you want. But this video, I tried to make it a bit differently, guys. What I wanted to do was make a bit more kind of like scripted video that has more stuff going on constantly. It is a bit shorter than some of my other videos, but this one did take 2 weeks to make. I did want to try something different. If you guys like this kind of content where I kind of make a more condensed, more serious-ish topic, let me know in the comments down below. And if this is like your first video of watching me and you stuck around to the end, really appreciate it. You guys let me know in the comments if you want me to go back to the one video per week where I talk about something a bit more goofy and fun and lighthearted, or if you want me to talk about more serious and different stuff like this video. I'm fine doing both, and I can do both. I can make a goofy video 1 week and another week take 2 weeks to make a more serious kind of video, which serious with really big quotation marks here, because I am talking about fucking video games. I'm talking about re-releases, remakes, and remasters are definitely different. I'm over here being a nerd emoji for an entire video, but I do think this video was a bit more serious. You guys let me know down in the comments. what you guys think of this video, but that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for staying till the end of the video. Peace.